Welcome to episode 27 of the Confident Carnivore podcast, where our motto is change your fuel, change your life. Today, we have a very special guest hailing all the way from India. We have BNS Srinivas. Welcome, BNS.
Thank you, Janice. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We are so excited to dive more into your personal story because you are India's first carnivore. So to start, BNS, can you tell us how old you are and how long you've been carnivore?
Sure, Janice. So I'm 25. I started this diet from January 2020. So it's been more than 1.5 years. Yeah.
Wow. And you're 25 years old. So can you show us your before and after pictures?
Yeah, sure. So you will find it very interesting. So I, sh- I used to be like a ball. So, but now I became fit. So yeah, I can. Okay, these are some of my pictures. I can show you some more. You can see the body shape of mine. So after the carnivore diet, okay, one second. After the carnivore diet, I became fit. So that's the success story.
Wow, that's impressive. So this is like right before carnivore on the before?
Yes, right before, it is the picture in November. Before picture is from November, and after picture is recently. But within 1 month, I have lost more than 25 pounds. Like within the starting first month itself, and after that, on a total, I lost more than 60 pounds in the rest 4 to 5 months. So that's how it
In
went.
4 to 5 months, you lost an extra
Yeah,
60
like
pounds?
totally 60 pounds.
Oh my goodness. Wow. And
So those are,
so do you have more? Do you have more
yeah,
after?
those are some of my pictures. I can display. Yeah, those
Okay.
are the okay.
Yeah, and
And
we'll show some of the success stories later, but so how did you come to carnivore?
okay, so I always believe in constant and never-ending improvement, and that's how I always think about how to improve myself. But I was fat 2 years ago, so I was doing so many things. I tried lots of exercises, and I tried Japanese techniques and everything. And I tried the rainbow diet, we have to eat all vegetables, all colors of vegetables. Even though I hated vegetables, I used to eat them. But I used to eat a lot of carbs, so I became so fat. And once my grandmother even said that you look old. So I was so fat and weird. So I tried so many things, but fortunately, with God's help, I found Tom Bilyeu's channel, which is called Impact Theory, where he interviews world experts. So in that way, I found Dr. Ken Berry. And as you know, Dr. Ken Berry's style, he always explain through common sense. I got hooked into his content and I watched his content. And in that process, I have read more than 300 books and I started interviewing world experts, me too. So after that, I believe after that I found Shawn Baker through Mike Merzel's channel called High Health Intensity,
Right?
and I really like non-veg, the meat. So I thought it is a very interesting diet. So I joined MeatRx in the end of the November, while I was fat. So I was following everyone's success story, and Shawn became very close. And after that, Shawn issued World Carnivore Month challenge. So I thought I would do that, and I did that, and rest is history.
Wow. So you were overweight, but did you have other like other health issues? Because you're so
Yeah,
young. So
yeah. But what I experienced was hair loss. I used to have hair loss while I was fat, and I used to have mouth ulcers almost every week. I used to have mouth ulcers, so it was so painful, and I used to burp all that day. I was like a cow, so I burped all the day, and not that much of a high energy, but those are the issues. So
wow.
after that, within a month, I never got a mouth ulcer. My hair loss stopped, and even my family got so many benefits. I would love to share if you want.
Wow. So now you when you said before you didn't really like vegetables, but you were eating a lot of carbs. Were you eating mostly like rice and this kind of thing, or were you eating also sweets?
Okay, so I used to eat lots of rice, because rice is a staple food in the southern part of India, which I'm in. So in North India, they generally eat wheat. So in South India, many people eat rice. So I used to eat a lot of rice, and I used to also eat vegetables, but I'm not a huge fan of them, but I used to eat them.
Mm.
But even if I eat any meat, I used to combine with lots of carbohydrates. So that's the problem where it got. And in the beginning of the 2019, I thought to stop sugar and rest of the things. I tried it, and even though I experienced maybe 2 pounds of weight difference, but not much difference. And it started to become I started to notice a significant difference when I shifted from vegetable oils to ghee. So
Oh,
from my whole family got shifted from oils to ghee, and which is in November actually. So November of 2019. So we started that, and we continued it, and in January 2020 we shifted totally.
so your whole family went carnivore then?
After I got results.
Wow, and so you have pictures of your family too?
Um, no, I do not have,
Oh, okay.
but I can share their success stories
Yeah, please
if you
do.
want. Yeah. So what happened is that in India, majority of people live within the same household. So we are a joint family. My grandmother, my mother, father, my sister, and me live together. So I thought to like we shifted from oil to ghee because I research a lot, and I was explaining science all day. And even when we sleep, also I go to my grandmother and I explain science. So so I tried to explain, and they got it. So they got the science behind it. So after convincing them for 2 months, I went to carnivore diet 100%, which is in January. So after I lost so much weight, I became so active, and even my relatives, when they came to our house, they said that you look so different. Did you join gym? That's the first thing they are asking. And second thing is that they are asking, you became so active, how? So it automatically, we don't know, but after I went into 100% carnivore, after 10 days, I experienced some of like experienced mind alertness, how to say spider sense or something like that. I
Oh,
experienced like a whole another level of consciousness after going to carnivore diet, because maybe because the brain fog left. Who knows? So I
wow.
felt so active, and I was like everything was visible so clearly, and I was so alert. I was so happy. So after seeing that, my parents reversed their roles. Before carnivore, they said that why to do that? It's not good that you are not eating rice. And after carnivore, now they are saying don't deviate from carnivore diet. Do it. So that's the
Ah,
paradox of the situation. But after that, everyone used to call us and ask about my like how did you become fit and everything. So my mother used to explain, my grandmother used to explain to my relatives that if you eat fat, you will lose fat, and they try to
wow.
shift other people. And after that, they themselves slowly shifted to a carnivore-ish diet, like almost 70 to 80% carnivore-ish diet. And the results are my father reversed his diabetes, my mother, so joint pain's gone, her migraine gone, her food pain gone, like plantar fasciitis, it's gone. My grandmother's vision got better, and so many things. So we experienced that time.
Wow. So you're like multi-generational carnivores in one household. So the
Yes.
improvements are so evident that people are actually asking you all then. So it does it do is being overweight and diabetes and these kinds of health conditions, is that prevalent in your area?
Yeah, of course. Like India is called the diabetes capital of the world. So from that we can see the metabolic state of the Indians. But many people do not look fat, but they are fat because they have visceral fat. So even though if you see someone on the street here, they look slim, but it's the belly. They have a lot of visceral fat. That's the reason why many people neglect their diabetes and their symptoms, because they think that we are slim, so why should we care about diet? So but they don't know that diabetes starts like 10 years before actually it happens. So they do not
Wow.
have an idea regarding that.
Interesting, because that's the same case with a lot of other, other Asian groups,
Yes.
because they don't show that they're fat, but then they have a lot of visceral fat, and they're probably diabetic or pre-diabetic as well. So, wow. So, and I can't help but notice that your skin also seems like it improved. I mean, you have like the carnivore glow. Did you notice gains in that as well?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I wish I had some photos with me, but after doing the diet, my skin got a lot better. Like, I used to get pimples all the way. Like, I used to have pimple very often. So after going to the diet, my skin became so smooth. I don't know about that. And my skin was glowing. You can say that my skin was glowing, and I became active. Like, whenever some people do diets, other diets, their face become dull like this. Like, they become ghosts. But
Yeah,
after
yeah.
doing this, yeah, after doing this diet, like, people literally getting their skin glowing. So many people are asking, "Whoa, you look like you're glowing. What are you using? Like, what creams are you using?" I never used a cream, and I will never use.
Wow. And I'm curious to know, so it sounds like, I mean, you were okay, so you're 25 now, right? So
Yes.
what you were when you started, you were 23? 23?
Yeah,
24,
yeah.
23.
Like, my birthday is in August, so you can
Oh, okay.
say, yeah, 24. We can say
So 24.
24.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you're so young too. I mean, that's like a lot of weight loss to experience. But what were you? I mean, were you overweight as a child? Like, did you have any issues like when you were much younger?
No, actually, I had so many phases. Like, in my 16s or 17s, I became a little bit fat, but I did lots of badminton. So, and I lost weight. Like, I used to play more than 7 hours a day. So,
Whoa.
like, I really liked it. But after that, I'm in the normal like weight for a long time. But I'm preparing for an examination. So I have to study a lot of time, like more than 8 hours per day, but I have to sit for a long time. So in that process, like, we can say that everyone is fit in their teens. After they come, like, the real effect will be visible. So I ate lot. Like, I used to eat carbs, but not like this. Like, how to say, I'm not an overeater. But what I used to eat is that almost 70% used to be carbs. So that's the effect I got. That's why I became fat. This time I became fat, like weird fat. So I became like a ball.
So all of the weight loss occurred then without any exercise, basically, right?
Yes. So I did not do any exercise, and recently I started like, from the past 3 months I started X3 bar. And congrats on your X3 bar journey. It's
Thank
your
you.
day one.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I did not experience any issues after going to Carnivore Diet. Many people experience transition issues, but I did a strict transition of 1 month in December. And from November also, I used to decrease the carbs and I used to increase the fat, but I did the transition best. And that's why I did not face any sort of issues after switching to 100% Carnivore Diet.
Wow, that's impressive. You don't hear that very often. Now, with your family, since you said they're maybe like 70%, then they're still getting good results, but why do they not go 100% like you if they see you're really getting, you know,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
ultra elite?
Yeah. So in India, it's very, very hard to eliminate carbohydrates. So it became a part of our tradition or culture. You can say that there are so many festivals revolving around carbohydrates. So we cannot cut it back. So that's why it became central part of our lifestyle. That's why I'm saying that try to do a carnivore diet 100% in the first 1 month, and after that you can add little bit of rice. So my family eats this much rice. So, but 2 times a day, rice. In the morning, they eat eggs and omelets. So they decrease a lot, but sometimes when festivals come around, they eat carbs.
Oh, and that's good. So they can basically get a lot of the gains, but not having to be socially really awkward, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Exactly.
promising. So now, BNS, we know that you have become a huge leader in the carnivore world in your region in India. So can you share with us some of your projects and share what you're up to?
Yeah, sure, Janice. So I created BNS Goku Great channel once again. So okay, okay, this is the BNS Goku Great channel where I interview world experts on health and mindset, like Ken Berry, Tim Knox, Nina Teicholz, Shawn Baker, everyone. So I started the channel in order to gain knowledge myself. So in order to tell someone, I need to gain knowledge. I have read so many books, but I have so many doubts. So I ask them questions and I provide subtitles so that even if some Indians watch, they can understand. So I interviewed and I got a lot of knowledge. And I happen to see so many Indian videos where there is a lot of misinformation. Like many people talk about vegetarianism, so it's easy to hear, right? So vegetarianism, like it sounds so good because everyone in India, like they eat a vegetable-based diet, not because they are vegetarians, but they cannot afford meat that much because they eat weekly once. So it became a habit. So everyone started to recommend the vegetarian diet, and they are promoting vegetable oils. And even some of the high, like top notch cardiologists recommended that everyone needs to consume vegetable oils in order to have a healthy heart. So I got frustrated, to be frank. So wherever I see, everyone is saying everything without proof. So that's when I got the like I broke my shell and I made the other channel, which is Telugu Superhumans, which became viral. So you can see I got more than 230,000 subscribers. In the first 50 days, I reached more than 100,000 subscribers. And in the rest of the months, I gained this much. So my motto is that I provide scientific proof and I provide every information for free. That's what separates me from others, because everyone says that follow this. But if you want, join my 9999 plan, and they do so many things. And some people say that you don't need to do anything. All you have to eat is this herb from this forest, and you will become fit. So everyone does that. Like it's prevalent across the world, so it's high prevalent here also. So my motto is that I don't sell anything. I always keep the information for free. So that's how I became viral. And the video I made about my weight loss reached more than 830,000 views. So it became viral. So many people are recognizing me.
Wow, that's amazing. And now when you walk around, do people know who you are on the street?
Yeah, I experienced that. Like when I went to a shopping mall, like people asked me that, please remove your mask. I thought they are selling me some perfumes, but
They
but
wanted to
when I
recognize you.
yeah, but when I removed that, they are asking, "Oh, I know you are from YouTube, right?" And what happened is that
Wow.
one of my videos got downloaded and it got shared in WhatsApp. So it shared so much that it may reach more, maybe like 20, 30 million people, maybe. Everyone like used to call our families that I saw your son's video in WhatsApp. Like officially, the video got 800,000 views, but unofficially, I cannot even state the numbers. It's huge.
Wow. It's unbelievable to me because even if you look at, platforms like MeatRx, they don't have even a fraction of what you have in followers. And it's interesting because you wouldn't think that, because, Indian food is so plant-based, so carb-based, you wouldn't think people would even, I mean, I know you've said that the pictures, the success stories, they speak volumes, right? And that you focus on that. But at the same time, it's like it's just mind-boggling that you have that many followers so quickly and that they're actually listening and looking and trying to be open to this. So in terms of how many, I know you have had a lot of success stories. How many people do you think that you've actually reached in terms of people trying carnivore and actually doing it versus just going, "Oh, whoa, that's crazy,"
Yeah, I am fortunate to say that I am very happy that it may not be exaggeration, but I'm confident to say that more than 100,000 people are doing carnivore diet now. I can say it with a lot of confidence because I'm a confident carnivore. But like whenever I scroll the comments, everyone is saying that I'm doing a diet and I lost more than 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Some even reported like more than 150 pounds. So like I always get, I am unable to even collect success stories. So I'm in such a situation, and I need to say in this point that people are not fools, because they try everything. They don't want to be biased, right? They try everything. They try to buy products. They try to do every diet, and they also did my diet where they stopped because they
Yeah.
know the benefits. So, so that's how it's becoming viral. And the main part of it is the success stories. What I learned from MeatRx is success stories help a lot, because even though MeatRx may not be so much popular, but the results from, like for example, I'm an offshoot of MeatRx, right? I experienced a lot of knowledge from them, gained a lot of knowledge, and now I'm in a position to help others. So maybe many people are spreading apart, and they're doing their best part. And the main part is that success stories are helping a lot, because like for example, I can say that thousands of people in western countries are losing their fat, they're reversing it, blah 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 blah. But when it comes from India itself, like for example, I will show you now is the best background. So okay, um yeah. So she's the first success story I got. Like I conduct always a live every Saturday. So people, they themselves come. I video chat them. I video chat with them live on live. So many people come themselves, like voluntarily come, and they themselves share their success story. So in that, she came and shared that her triglycerides were more than 615, which is a very big number. So and she was pre-diabetic, and she had so many like rheumatoid arthritis, some values, and she came and reported that after doing this diet strictly for 1 month, her triglycerides went to 179. And now after 3 months, she updated that her triglycerides went to 140, and her diabetes reversed, and her rheumatoid arthritis, when she took the blood test, she got negative. So that's one of the success story. And from that onwards, I am getting so many success stories. For example, he reversed his diabetes, and some of the persons, for example, sent me. Okay, one second. Some of the persons sent me like their HbA1c value was 14.1 before, and after they did 1 month strict, their report came back to like 5.8. So
Wow.
without medications, and that's one of the stories. And yeah, so before, one person got psoriasis, and now you can look at the difference.
Wow. Can you go to
And
the
so
before
many.
one more time? Can you show that
Yeah,
again a
yeah,
little
sure, sure,
slower?
sure.
I just want to.
Yeah, this is
Oh
before,
my.
and this is after.
Wow. In 1 month?
Yes, in 1 month. So psoriasis. So many people, not only her, like many people reverse their psoriasis. They're sending me so many success stories that I am even unable to collect. So what is working is that people are themselves coming voluntarily, and they are sharing their success stories. And from yesterday, I conducted live, which is Saturday for us and Friday for you. But people came and said that their hemorrhoids got reversed. That's a huge.
Wow.
And the
Yeah.
thyroid got reversed. Like so many people shared that. And that's how it's working. And this is what I call life changing things, because yesterday I received another success story, and he said that his sugar level was 457, which
Ooh.
is huge.
Yeah.
So within 1 month, it got into normal range. So he got like he got blood reports, and after listening to such kind of success stories, how can other people neglect it? So that's how it's rolling, and it became a chain reaction.
That is incredible. And now you said over 100,000 potentially. Are
Yes.
they are they all over the world, or predominantly Indians, or are you seeing
Yeah.
others
Yeah,
following
I
you as well?
upload my content in Telugu. Not
Right.
about like BNS Go Great channel is in English, but Telugu Superhumans, which is my Indian channel, is in Telugu language. So Telugu language, like many Indian people are all over the world. So even Indians from USA, Kuwait, and
Oh,
many Middle East countries are like video chatting me, like in the live, and they're saying that we experienced so much benefit from your diet. So it's spreading.
that is incredible. And let's go back to BNS Goku Great for a minute. So when you said you reached out to all of these big names, doctors, scientists, how far along were you in your carnivore journey when you
Yeah.
decided to launch that channel?
Yeah. So I talked with Dr. Kenberry multiple times before the channel because he was so kind enough to clear my doubts. So he was very cool. Like I asked that I'm in this journey, so I have so many doubts. He was so patient. He talked like hours and hours with me. And Shawn Baker, as you know, MeatRx every day. I used to you maybe not present at that time when I was there, but like Shawn Baker used to come and always ask about me. Like he used to ask me,
Oh,
share some stories because I am was like a storyteller there. That's how I my name got like superstar. So they MeatRx people gave me the title superstar. So I got connections with I became very close with Sally Norton. So after that, my legendary people came. So for example, I was the first person. I am the first Indian to interview Wim Hof. So I interviewed Wim Hof. So like so many people became so close because they are trying to see what I'm doing. I am not doing this for money because I this is not such a diet that that should be kept in secret. So that's why I'm sharing it with as many people as possible. And imagine that even a single person in the family got healthy, the rest of the family will experience benefits. So that's my main motive.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Wow. So I'm just thinking that so when you I mean, it kind of sounds to me like you made some connections at the beginning, but also just your passion and your purpose. Because I mean, these are big name people that you're just said, well, I just want to put this out there. So they just said yes then
Yeah,
to come on
it took
and
a lot of like communication skills, and it took a lot of success in order to get many people. So the main thing is that the the more I grow, the more powerful people I can get on BNS Go Great, and the more success and the more big people I get on BNS Go Great, the more people I can help in India. So I'm
wow.
just translating whatever they are saying from BNS Goku Great, and I read a lot and I research a lot, and that's why I want BNS Goku Great channel to be famous.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that it's such a great resource for people because I mean, English is going to be able to a lot of people learn English, right? So it'll be able to spread a little bit more easily. So in terms of your okay, so you're building your two channels and then what about your actual it sounds like you get a lot of people messaging you and stuff. So do you try to
Yes.
give people like kind of individual guidance just on a one-to-one messaging type of situation or
Yeah. So at present, I want to make this information free to as many people as possible. So to state the statistics, every day I get more than 1,000 messages on Instagram. So I try to give them the information for free because I want to make them like I want to at least make first generation of this diet to know the diet perfectly, so that they can help many people. So even many gym trainers, personal trainers are like asking me doubts, and surprisingly, many doctors are approaching me. So many doctors are approaching me and asking the science behind it, and I'm explaining the science, and they're very happy. So with the science and the clinical trials, because what we have been eating, the high carb diets, are not scientifically backed up. So when I interviewed Nina Teichholz and I follow her work really helped me to show the diet and then the proofs and everything. So doctors are also approaching me. So at present, I will give every information free, and I want to, like, for example, even with the like I made like more than 8 videos on that diet because I want to clear every doubt. For example, I take the comments from the I take the comments under the videos and I try to answer them. So I try to make this diet as clear as possible. And fortunately, vegetarians also on board with this. So they are asking that I cannot eat like 100% carnivore, but I'm able to include eggs. Can I do it with eggs? So for them, I'm recommending low carb diets, keto diets. So for the people who are doing 100% carnivore, I'm recommending them. And in the keto diets also, I'm asking them to do with lots of eggs, and with ghee and salt. So everything is working fine.
Wow, so you have a kind of a plan for each person depending on where they're coming from, and you try to make it so you just respond to the big questions, but you create content so that a lot of people can see, you
Yes.
know, whatever concerns or questions. That's great. So you don't have to respond to every single
Yeah.
individual message of 1,000 while
Yeah.
studying 8 hours a day for your exam.
But I have to, because the more people, if I, for example, if they hear something from me, they feel happy. So they try to do the diet more. So I try to answer like for
Aw.
3 hours every day. But that's why I conduct a live every Saturday, because people can directly ask me doubts. And when I clear them, like I get more than 50,000 15,000 people for live. So many people can get their answers, like they get their questions answered simultaneously. So that's why I conduct live every Saturday.
Wow. Good. So now you said you're studying for this exam and this is setting you up for your career. So what's going to happen once you pass the exam and then you're going to have a regular like daytime full-time
Yeah.
job, right?
So yeah, like there's a background to it. So from childhood onwards, I always want to help people. So that's my main motto. Whatever I do, I want to help people. So the exam I'm preparing is called Civil Services Examination. So if I get selected, I will be in a position to help millions of people. So it's like a government job. It involves policy making. So now I'm able to help many, but in that position I will be able to even change the policies of the entire country. So that's the main aim of myself. So I want to help as many people as possible within short amount of time. So that would be the best option.
Wow. So when you chose that for your career path, that was probably pre-carnivore though, right?
Yes. Yes.
So it sounds like you've always been someone who's interested in growth and performance, optimizing human potential because you've read all of these books. You know, like Tony Robbins, they say he read like hundreds
Yeah. I
of
follow Tony Robbins. I even interviewed Jarek Robbins. He said
Oh, oh my
so.
goodness. Wow. I need to catch up on your your interviews. But so from all of that, because I kind of also am, I guess I would call myself like a prior to carnivore, like a self-help, personal growth junkie, right? Where I literally read hundreds of books. I've gone to so many trainings and everything. Do you think that you were looking for all that because you weren't, you know, you weren't feeling physically, you know, how like kind of your health, your physical health is the foundation. So now that you've read all of these books and you've discovered carnivore, where do you see like do people still need all of those other types of tools, or is carnivore kind of the, because in some ways I feel like I've cured like I'm not depressed anymore. I'm not anxious anymore. I don't have trouble determining what I want to do with myself. I have clarity about where I'm heading. So where do you see all that fitting together now that you've gone carnivore?
Yeah. So I was always interested in self help. So I used to read a book, and then I used to watch interviews now and then. But incidentally, I don't know. But the first book, like one of the first books I have read, is regarding health. So from that onwards, it also started with Tom Bilyeu's channel. He interviews a lot of guests, right? So he interviewed Sean Stevenson, who is a sleep health expert. So I read a book called Sleep Smarter. So when I read that, even though I was fat at that time, incidentally, you see that while I was fat, I started reading a lot of books. I don't know, maybe there's a connection between that. Maybe my body wants to improve itself. So I started to biohack. I believe in so many biohacks. Like I use blue light blocking glasses. blue red light therapy, etc., etc. So many things. So started with that, and from that onwards, I realized that there's a lot of myths in health industry. So, for example, even if there is a lot of misinformation in health, it's like sleep itself. So, what happens? Like, what happened in like in a nutrition space? For example, I read so many. I started. You can see my journey. I started with Ken Berry, Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. Like so many people, I watched so many documentaries. So I can say that my body wants me to improve myself. So that's why it like always pushed me to read books. So after I learned speed reading. So from Howard Burke, who is the only world speed fastest reader, who got Guinness World Record. He can read 80 pages in a minute with full of comprehension. So I interviewed him. So I took his course and I read his books and I followed that. And I used to read a book almost 2 days. In 2 days, I used to read a book. So I gained lots of knowledge, and I found that everything we heard from mainstream is wrong. So from that, it jumped. So I started to read more health books. So yeah, self-help helped me to dive deep into the rabbit holes.
Wow. So, I mean, in a way, that questing and seeking, you
Yes.
ended up finding, like, if you hadn't already been into self-help and looking at biohacks and all this stuff, you wouldn't have navigated your way into impact theory and reading the things that, I mean, I was this kind of the same way. I mean, I read all kinds of those biohacks galore, right? Always looking to
Yes.
optimize. I mean, I've watched, hundreds of hours of impact theory, but you're right, it gets overwhelming because there's a lot of misinformation, right? And then
Yes.
the thing I've noticed about carnivore is that it naturally resolves so many things that you
Yes.
then don't need as much of those aids, right? You don't need as many things,
Exactly.
even just for like pain. Like I've spent hundreds of dollars on thousands probably on like massage devices, neck pain, all these different kinds of things. And it's like, because I had like, inflammation and like arthritic type pain. And so I bought all these devices to try to to like, alleviate it. But guess
Yes.
what? Now I don't have it. So then you don't need it. So you kind of evolve, right, in what you're researching and what you focus on, because a lot of this stuff just falls away, right? When you realize
Yes.
most of it is wrong. Most of what people are touting or selling is,
Yes.
it might create some type of symptomatic relief, but it's not really getting at the core of where the disease, the illness, the right is coming from. So, um,
Exactly. Exactly, Janice. And I would like to share a point here because I used to search for lots of hacks. Like I used to purchase every new single biohack device that's there in the market. But I realized later that health is very simple. We do not need to do a lot of things. Like are animals in wild doing this to stay healthy? But I do believe in biohacks, which helps us to be more in nature. For example, red light therapy. Like for example, red light all comes at sunrise and sunset. But nowadays we are not experiencing that. That's how. But red light therapy will indirectly gives us that effect. So now I'm believing in such biohacks which resembles nature. For example, grounding, which is natural, but we forgot. So I'm now into that kind of space, but not into like which claims that it will improve your health by this much something, because the base is same. Basic base foundation is carnivore diet, and top of that helps, but not the main thing. So that's how I'm looking at.
well, I love that because that really does capture what I've done, and a lot of people I hear that we come to this more naturally. You get more attuned to nature, right? So and then, like you're
Yes.
saying, you're going to do the blue light blocking glasses, you're going to do earthing or grounding, you're going to do the red light therapy because it's mimicking something that we're maybe deficient in because we live in these artificial environments. But it's something like even cryotherapy, right? Like taking a
Yes.
cold shower, there's certain
Yes.
aspects
Yes.
of that are like very much just things we're deficient in by lifestyle, right? Because they're things that
Yes.
are natural parts of human existence that we have to kind of supplement in those ways. I love
Yeah.
that how you said that.
And Janice, like I have this theory that it may not be theory, it may be the literal truth, but why for some people vegan diets and Western diets works? Because they do all the rest of the things. For example, they stay in sunlight, they try not to eat junk food, they try to do grounding, they try to breathe more efficiently, and they do so much of the natural things, and that's the benefits they are experiencing, and they're thinking that vegan diets are helping them. But after 10 years or 20 years, they will that will exhaust, because our body cannot solely function on exterior elements. But I have this theory that what happens if a carnivore does all this?
Oh my gosh, you're brilliant, because that's exactly what my life was. I was vegetarian for almost 10 years, but I did a lot of the things. I did like the
Yes.
meditation and the breathing. I was
Yes.
doing yoga. I was, trying to be very natural with products, not like toxic overload. But you're right, all of that external stuff didn't, like, my entire physical, mental health all just gradually deteriorated because I wasn't eating the proper fuel. But now I've started doing yoga again, and I'm doing all of those same things again, but on carnivore. And it's like this whole new level, right? Like you said, it's like I have so much energy. I'm not hurting. I'm actually getting more flexible. Like, ironically, I wasn't even flexible and everything hurt all the time when I was a vegetarian doing yoga, right? So
Yes.
that's a great theory, because you're right. That's why people first, like, just taking out the junk food, like you said, that probably gives people a lot of gains right there. And then all of those other practices, they're all beneficial, but they're not
Yes.
enough to keep you going.
Yes.
That is a
Exactly.
brilliant theory. I mean, it's I can say that it's true because it happened to me. And that was another thing, is like once I switched over to going carnivore, I had an initial kind of identity crisis where I thought, I'm not fitting the mold of like vegetarianism, right? Because if I'm going to the yoga studio, say, but I'm going to be eating like a ribeye, it just is like a cognitive dissonance because of
Yes.
the ideology of it, right? So I actually kind of stopped doing a lot of the things that relate to sort of the vegetarian lifestyle. And
Yeah.
I was like, now I'm this carnivore and I'm going to be all this like really assertive and like productive and hardcore with everything. And then gradually I was like, no, wait, I want to actually be natural, but be
Yes.
also powerful, and, and have clear, strong, stable energy. So it's like in actuality, those two, they fit so much nicer together,
Yeah.
than like being a weakly fueled vegetarian trying to bolster yourself with those other things, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I always say this in my lives that if we want to be a human, eat like a human. If you want to look like a human, eat like a human, and that's what I always say. And some people ask me that, can I do this? And I say that if you look like human, you can do it. Like if you're a human, you can do the diet. So I always say that anyone can do the diet, but I add some
Brilliant.
sarcasm to that. And regarding the identity thing, I do believe that many people are fixing their identity, but they don't know that we can literally change our identity whenever we want. That's how humans are. What Like for example, many people developed these beliefs, and these beliefs became doctrines, and these doctrines became gospel truth, so they cannot change. So that's how, for example, wh- like for example, I got a message from a vegetarian that's saying that her brother experiencing so many bad things. Like for example, he's more than 250 pounds. He's more than 250 pounds. He's 13 years old. 13
Oh,
years old. And he's having hair loss. He's unable to even walk from one room to another. And he's experienced so many things. But they're saying that I cannot eat meat. And I'm asking that, well, then how it is serving you? Does God, like, do God wants you to suffer? No, right? Like, God wants us to become the best versions of ourselves. So what's the natural thing you can do? So I asked them, even try to include eggs, and they did that, and they're experiencing benefits. So that's when we should question our beliefs, what they will serve. Like when they're no longer serving us, we should stop questioning, we should start questioning them.
wow. Now, ooh, that is so profound. I'm So in terms of these vegetarians, and you're saying when you tell them to add the eggs and maybe, so you said they can do ghee or they can't? They could
Yeah,
do
they can do
okay.
ghee.
Okay, so
They
they could do
can,
the ghee.
yeah.
So have you seen people, can they make the same degree of, recovery or healing without incorporating other animal-based products?
Yeah, to be frank, that without egg, like with eggs, it not may be on the level of full meat-based carnivore diet, but fortunately, 40% of the of my success stories are coming from such people,
Wow.
because maybe they tried so many things, and I'm that's why I'm recommending them low carb, high fat, high protein vegetarian diet. So in order for them to increase their protein, I am saying that include lots of eggs within each meal. So after doing that, many of them experienced benefits. For example, one person lost more than what is it? More than 90 pounds on this kind of diet. But even though the weight loss is a little bit slower than the carnivore diet, they are experiencing benefits. But now they are in a position that, okay, I added eggs and I experienced this benefit. What if I add mutton? Like, what if I add ruminant, like animal meat? So now, recently, yesterday, I got a success story that a person said that she was vegetarian by choice, and she added eggs, and she got the corona, the virus, and within 2 days she got fully recovered after on this diet, and she was so happy. And I have before and after videos of her, because the moment she got high viral attack, like she got high viral count, and she came to the live, and she asked, like she was like this, can I do the diet? And I asked her that you
Oh,
can do the diet. And after 3 days, I again conducted the live, and she came, and she was like, okay, I was doing like this, and I benefited so many experiences, and I was literally so shocked that I know it works. So now she is adding mutton.
wow.
So
So
that's how
you've
it.
actually had vegetarians get so much benefit just from the eggs and the ghee that they've
Yes.
added much. Now you mentioned before that because the meat is expensive as well. So what do you do about people who maybe can't afford to eat a lot of mutton?
Yeah, that's a little thing I'm bothered about. That's why I'm asking them at least try to include mutton once a day, and you can manage it with eggs, but add a lot of ghee with it. Otherwise, it's not like many people here sometimes do high protein diet, but they lack energy, because without fat they will lose energy, because
Oh,
they will go into rabbit starvation. So that's when I started to emphasize ghee. That's when many people switched from oils to ghee. That's the first thing I recommend them, because when I interviewed Dr. Chris Konabi, who is an expert on vegetable oils, he after watching that interview, many people shifted to ghee, because there's connection, like there we can literally connect the oils with anything, with the diabetes, with inflammation, with the heart disease. We can literally connect vegetable oils with everything. So that's how I made them to eat ghee.
wow.
So yeah,
And do you find that Indians fear fat as much as Americans say? I mean, is there that kind of cultural notion that fat is going to give you a heart attack and high cholesterol and all that?
yeah. So when I interviewed Nina Teicholz, she said that everyone in the world copied US dietary guidelines, and now when you come and see the Indian dietary guidelines also, it resembles the same, like grains, heavy grains, and everything. So in that process also, many people believe the same myths. So many people are fully aware of the cholesterol, and that's why I interviewed Ivor Cummins, and I gathered a lot of information about the uh, cholesterol. That's why I made a video, like more than 40, 35 minutes worth of video, where I debunked everything regarding cholesterol. Like
Wow.
what happens, like many people think that HDL needs to be increased, but they don't know that HDL efflux, which is HDL functionality, is also required. For example, many people have high HDL, but how well it's working, it's also very important. That's what I learned from Ivor Cummins. And many people fear LDL as bad cholesterol. And I talked about them about the 5-layer theory, that many people think that if they have high LDL, that's it. but they don't know that there are 5 layers in that process. Like for
Oh,
example, in the first process, there is a layer called glycocalyx, where there are some hairs on the arteries of the walls of like the heart, and it protects us. And there is second stage, third stage, fourth stage, fifth stage. And if they got damaged in all the stages, then LDL is bad. Many people don't know that. So I made a highly scientific video, and even professors from other universities messaged me that what you're doing is very right, and we don't know that. So I am doing scientifically. That's why I always use science. And I debunked cholesterol, I debunked fiber, and many things. So now people are not fearing. For example, they're easily understanding that after doing this diet, their triglycerides went down like very fast, um, and their HDL got increased, and their LDL also increased. So they are seeing that, okay, this triangle, that if LDL, sorry, if HDL increased and triglycerides decreased, that means it's good. So I made them, I gave some formulas with them to them. So they are now not fearing, but throughout India, there's a lot of fear.
wow. It's interesting because, everybody's fearing the LDL cholesterol, and then you've got people who have just like through the roof triglycerides. Like my cousin, his number is dangerous. It's like 1500. And I've been trying to get him to go carnivore, but his wife is a nurse practitioner. So she's from the mindset of fearing, cholesterol and thinking that that's going to cause, a heart attack, heart disease. But then you've got people with the high triglycerides, they're worried about the LDL. And then I keep thinking to myself, well, if you just did this, it's weird because it's the opposite. Like we interviewed this couple, Alex and Dunya. You probably know Dunya from MeatRx, but her husband Alex, he had gout and kidney stones. And they always say that's caused by animal products, right? By meat. So he did that. He reversed both of those conditions within less than 6 months on a carnivore diet. So it's almost like everything they tell you that meat is going to cause, meat actually fixes, right?
Janice, sorry for interrupting, but
No.
guess what? Yesterday, I got a success story where a person did this diet for 1 month. He's got reversed. His uric acid levels are controlled. So
1 month?
exactly what it is. Yes, 1 month. So what he shared is that when he got this high uric acid problem, he approached doctor and he said that never touch meat. And he watched my videos and he thought, okay, whatever it may be, he will do the diet, and he did it. Within 1 month, his pain gone and his uric acid levels got in. But what happens is that many people will rise their uric acid levels within the first 10 days after this diet, because after doing this diet, ketones get released, right? So ketones compete with uric acid, uh, yeah, uric acid. So it seems like uric acid levels increased for 10 days, but after a month or 2 months, it will start reducing slowly. But many people don't know that. So they try it for a week and think that their uric acid increased, and that's why they leave the diet. So after, but I'm very happy that they are themselves coming to the live, and they're saying that I did for 1 month, my uric acid levels are controlled, and my gout got reversed. So we
Oh
can say
my
that.
gosh, that's incredible. What's startling to me is how many people are doing their numbers there. I mean, I don't know if Americans, I haven't gotten my numbers checked. I mean, I know some people are really into checking everything, but you have a lot of your success stories, they're getting frequent tests, right? To check
Yes,
everything.
that's why I am. That's what I emphasized. I said that don't believe me blindly. Take blood reports before, and doing after 1 to 1.5 month, take blood reports again, and if you get any benefit, do it. And literally, I got a person who said that her wife is experiencing like low blood, anemic, she's anemic from the past 10 years, and he shared her blood reports, and now after she done for 1 month, her blood levels are normal, like she's no longer anemic, and she had so many markers as red before, and after doing the diet, except one, everything is in perfect range.
Wow,
So
and that I heard that same story from the same Alex who had he had Hashimoto's, he had a perforated colon. They were going to take out 14 inches of his colon. He had idiopathic angioedema, all these crazy things, the gout, the kidney stones, all of it reversed in, I think less than 6 months. And then his doctor, after all of this stuff, I can't even remember everything. He had IBS. There were more things. His doctor looked at his biomarkers and didn't comment on everything reversing and just said, well, what about what's going on with your LDL cholesterol? So when you have that, when everybody gets a perfect scorecard, but then suddenly their one thing might be like the LDL,
Yes.
do they freak out, or do they just know because of your scientific video? Do they trust the video that like, hey, you're okay, the LDL, the 5 layers, you're good, or do they freak out?
Yeah, exactly. That's what also happened with me. Like they came to life and they're experiencing blah 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 blah. Like they got this reverse, blah, 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 blah. And after that, they're saying that, but my LDL is little bit high. Is that okay? And I'm saying that you reverse this many, but a little bit. Okay, okay. Then I recommend it, but as the video is more than 35 minutes, I got only 60,000 views on that. So I'm making
Oh
them
my,
to go and watch that. So
are you
I'm
giving
saying
that as
that,
an assignment?
yeah, go and watch and report me back. And after watching that, every doubt will be cleared. Because I'm very fortunate because Ivor Cummins was so kind enough that he gave me all his files, his folder,
Wow.
and he asked me that you can share wherever you want. And that's why I really want BNS Go Great channel to be famous, because the more famous the channel, the more big people I can bring in, and the more big people come, the more help I can do for Indians. So that's how I'm using. And many people are like nowadays laughing because when they themselves are sharing a joke that I got this many reversed, and you are saying LDL, and they are laughing like, like, so like they got that. So because nutrition needs to update it. So 99% of my comments are positive, but 1% really, I got huge trust because they trust, because I always show them the proofs and common sense. And some people are there and then they say that carnivore diet is the worst diet of all, and blah blah blah. And one of the person said that if you eat eggs you will get diabetes, and she showed some of their studies, and I literally debunked that study. And I purchased that study, and I went into the study and I read that, and I said that they mentioned this. They are even including cakes as eggs in the study. They're even including junk food as eggs, because whatever eggs are included, they are including it as eggs.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
debunked everything, and within few weeks, within few days, I got a success story that I was eating a lot of eggs, but I reversed my diabetes. So
Wow.
it got like many people who commented on me got a punch in their face through
Wow.
success stories. I never comment on them
Oh,
because
you fight back with success stories. I love it.
yes, and I never even mention them because it's not their fault. It's their background that they have been studied, like they studied a lot in this medical knowledge for lots
Right.
of time, and we are now saying that everything is wrong. So
Yeah, it's
but many
hard for
people,
them. It's hard for
yeah,
them to let go of that paradigm, so
like, but for example, haters are becoming my fans, I can say that, because at the beginning a doctor uh, like debated with me, like he argued long time, and I also patiently answered everything, and now he became my advocate, and whoever are making wrong videos on me, he's commenting on their videos, and he's saying that
wow.
I debated along, I know your opinion, but whatever he's saying is true. So now I'm in a position to influence even doctors. So I'm very happy for that.
Wow, you really are the carnivore superstar. Now, okay, so I have to ask because I know you said you're going into this civil servant position where you're going to be able to influence policy, but it does seem like, you're on to something where, you take a lot of time, you do all the research, I mean, are you at all thinking maybe this, I mean, are you considering I mean, I know you said you want to give the information away for free and all this kind of stuff. And I totally, you know, kudos to you. I think that's wonderful, your mission. But I mean, do you ever think that maybe there's some other career path that would enable you to kind of do this more 100% of your time?
Yeah. So The main reason why I'm giving everything 100% and I'm uploading, like I'm answering every question, is that I will get more time for studying. So, like, for civil services has so much potential. It's seen as it's the top administrative post in India.
Oh, wow.
So it's best of the best. So if I can do that, my channel will become, it will go into millions,
Wow.
because the civil servants have lots of following, because it's a very tough examination. Million people write it, but only 100 people become a IAS officer. So like Indian Administrative Service. So that's what I'm aiming. So if I crack that, like it will go viral, like more than viral. You cannot even imagine.
Wow. Okay.
And but now I'm planning to make some courses in my language, because I got demand for that. Without demand, I would not do that. They are saying that, I'm still saying that everything is free. You can literally ask me any questions you want. But for the people who literally wants everything, for example, what is fat? What is insulin to glycagon ratio? Like minute of the minutest, I'm planning to make more than 100 videos. I believe that if we give value to people, money will automatically come to us. So
Yeah.
without value, we cannot do anything. So maybe that can also give me a good source of income. So I'm planning that.
Wow. That's brilliant. And I hope, I mean, you probably should do some in English as well, because it seems like, people want that, especially people who are really wanting to know the science and feel like they understand the mechanics of all of it. I'm kind of like, well, it works, I feel great and I'm
Yeah,
not going to
Janice,
question it.
Janice, that's a good way, because I'm an engineer. I completed my engineering. I do not have any medical background, but I gain knowledge through self knowledge. So I researched for me. And after that, do you know what? After doing the Carnivore Diet, I stopped gathering information, because I know it's working. So why I should search for more? And I stop all the research. And after that, many people are asking me science, that okay, what happens if uric acid increases? And now I have to go back, and I started to research a lot. You cannot even imagine the research I do. So for every sentence I make, I show the research.
Wow.
That's when I got, like, I interviewed Tim Knox, Professor Tim Knox, on BNS Go Grade, and he asked me that we have to overwhelm people with information, otherwise they don't believe. Nowadays, people are claiming so many things, but how they will trust? With proofs. So I search a lot. I read a lot of books, and I am into in this position that I can even challenge anyone to ask me any question online. So
Wow.
I'm happy with that.
Now, okay, so that is all just phenomenal. And I want to ask you just about your own identity, how you've changed, who you know yourself to be, your potential, your confidence. How has that shifted for you?
Yeah. So, as I always said, I believe in constant and never ending improvement. Okay. So, that process just got boosted up after this carnivore. That once you know something is best, you want, for example, you will be the best example in this, and I will be also best example. We do not like exercise, right? So, we do not like to exercise. But after experiencing this much of health benefits, we want to step up. We want to be more. So that's how I started doing X3 bar. And that's how I want to do everything, like super good. My channel is not only related to health, but also mindset. Even BNS Goku Great channel and Telugu Superhumans channel, I always talk about mindset. That's how I interviewed, for example, David Allen, who is the founder of Getting Things Done.
Oh, I love David Allen.
Yeah. So I got some of the big people there. For example, Chris Voss, who is the former FBI negotiator. So
Oh
international
my
hostage.
gosh, I have like hundreds of hours to watch of your interviews. Oh, sorry.
So I always concentrate on mindset also, but it got boosted up after I got into Convert Diet, because we want to be as good as possible. We are not chasing perfectionism, but we have to strive for perfectionism. There's a difference. Like many people want to be perfectionist and they exhaust themselves and they don't relax. But we have to strive for 100%, but we will be happy to do 80%. So I'm I want to improve myself in every single way possible. That's how humans must be. And that's how I made the videos on, for example, I made videos on study tips, like how to read efficiently, how to, like how to, we cannot say control, but how to deal with negative thoughts. And I'm doing this kind of videos and they are also becoming viral. So everything in
Wow.
combination will make us superhuman. And that's how the name got. Like I really like the name Superhumans. So I said Telugu Superhumans. I named that. And now the diet is being called Telugu Superhumans Diet. They call it
TSD.
Superhumans.
I love that. I mean, the only thing I know you're building the BNS Goku great, but I think the only part is that what I love about what you're doing is that you think about a lot of the big names, right? You got Tony Robbins, you've got Oprah, all these like mega mindset, Tom Bilyeu, all these people, but I think I've had a harder time recently because even like David Goggins, these people are, a lot of them are like plant based, right? So in
Yes.
my mind, I'm always like, they may have the most incredible mindset, but
Yes.
because I know the difference for myself, I feel like they're not even at their top level performance because they're not properly fueled. So it's like, I love that you're like a hardcore carnivore with the most brilliant, inspirational mindset. So you're like the carnivore Tony Robbins, you know?
Thank you, Janice. Janice, exactly. You and I feel exactly the same. Like I cannot say like we are 100% sure like same on this, because like I love so many people but they're going on a plant-based diet, and I feel so bad because they're in this trap. I always believe that the top level people always fall into the trap,
Yeah.
because they have access with the top level doctors, which means they have to abide with lot of government rules, which means they have to follow US dietary guidelines, which means they recommend a plant-based diet.
Oh, you're
So,
right.
and I was so concerned that I even wrote to Tony Robbins' son that I'm very concerned that he's doing so much plant-based, but try to include, because Tony Robbins himself got ulcer.
Right.
So I was so shocked because he's superhuman, but his diet is majorly plant-based. So I recommended him. Like I am unable to bear the like if they can do the carnivore diet, they would be on whole another level. At least if it's not carnivore diet, at least low carb diets with lots of meat. So I am concerned, but who knows? For example, Tom Bilyeu was in a rapid starvation diet, but now he went to carnivore diet. But
He did?
yeah,
Tom
he's on a
Bilyeu?
carnivore diet. Yes,
I didn't know that.
Tom Bilyeu was
That's
is on a carnivore
amazing.
diet, but he's adding little bit of plants. But that's fine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, so many people that I really, revered, I now just go, and you can
Yes.
almost like once you're a carnivore, you can see it,
Yes.
right? You can see that they're not fully, and even Bella was talking about, yesterday about the like when she went to all beef. I mean, I know you don't eat beef, but just like like you say, the person who adds mutton in, right? I can't say that
Yes.
word.
Mutton. Mutton.
Mutton.
Yeah.
So you see these levels, right, that people can achieve, and you can kind of see when there's a lid on them and they're not, that if they did this next thing, if they added more fat, if they added, ruminant meat, that they're gonna soar. And so I think that's the part where you're always looking at, well, the leveling up concept, right? And I like what you said. It's not about just like trying to be like obsessively questing after being better. It's like, no, you're doing it because it's coming from this internal drive of, when you're
Yes.
properly fueled, then suddenly you want to achieve optimal performance in every area. It just comes naturally because that potential, just like the desire to exercise, it's just emanating from you. Like it's generating from inside of your mind and from inside of your muscles, from inside of your body. And it's almost like you're not trying to will it rationally. It just starts to like, move. You get this momentum going, and then it just manifests, right? It's not like
Yes.
you have to sit there and go, okay, you wake up in the morning like, I'm going to force myself to do all this today, right? You're like, I'm excited. I mean, you're so exuberant. You have so much energy and optimism. And it's like, that's the thing I know is that I was always questing like you before, and I was always excited and hopeful about potential. But now I actually can execute on potential, right?
Yes,
Totally
exactly.
different thing. You
Yes, yes,
experience it. Like
yes,
before, I would be trying to experience like being present, being mindful, and being in my body, all this stuff. But it was like a willing versus a like, no, this is like a lived experiential thing now. So
yes.
we're really
And
aligned. We're gonna have to
yes,
talk
we
a
are
lot
same.
more. I am so amazed. So BNS, can you show us again, just so people can see it visually? Leave it on there a little bit longer. Your BNS Goku Great, the
Yeah, yeah. Telugu
Telugu
superhuman.
Superhumans, and then also, can you show your Instagram so that we can
Yeah,
kind of see people or visual can see it? We'll put it in the show notes too, but I want to
yeah,
make sure because we have to grow this BNS Goku Great for sure. And then the Telugu, we're not going to be able to understand it, but we can at least see some of the pictures, like some
yeah.
of
Sure.
the success stories, right?
Yeah, sure.
Does it translate into English if we watch it on Telugu Superhumans? Are there does YouTube transcribe?
Maybe not.
Oh,
So maybe not. But you can see their expressions like they are so happy.
yeah, yeah. That's universal, right?
Yeah, and I keep some success stories. I keep the titles in English. So, for example, I keep that this person reversed her diabetes,
Okay,
like that.
that's good.
So, like many people can get an idea. So, thank you for that. And this is okay. I will make it look more cool. So, this is Telugu Superhuman channel. But one second. Okay. Yeah. So this is BNS Goku Great channel, which if you want to see big, you can see.
Oh, nice.
So I highly recommend you guys to watch this because I am known to ask good questions. So if you watch that, many people will find a lot of answers to their questions. And if they want to get contact with me, they can do via Instagram, which my name is Carnivore Superstar, as MeatRx people gave me that name. So these are my main channels. So BNS Goku Great. I would really appreciate if you guys can check it out.
Yeah, we definitely will. And what is the I mean, I'm subscribed on both of my YouTube accounts,
Thank
but
you.
what's the Goku part?
Okay. So I always love Goku in Dragon Ball Super. So Dragon Ball Z, there's a show called Dragon Ball Z, which is an anime, which is cartoon.
Oh.
Okay. So from childhood onwards, everyone used to call me Goku. Even Wim Hof also calls me Goku. So like Goku means I love Goku because he's such a person who is so strong yet so funny and so humble.
Oh.
So that's how I ingrained like I took so much of that characteristics and I imbibed, like I absorbed that. So I like Goku.
Oh.
BNS is my name. Goku is that character. Great means everyone talks about better and good, but great is on another level. So I want to be great, not good or
Oh.
better. So that's why BNS Goku Great.
I love that. I can't believe you have like Wim Hof calls you Goku. That's pretty cool. Wow. So, thank you so much. This has been an incredible conversation. I can't wait to rewatch it. So just I know what you've mentioned a few things that are next for you, but is there anything else that you just have that you're looking into your future?
Yeah. So I want to get it in international level. So maybe I can in future come to low carb conferences. Maybe I'm looking to meet you all guys because I we share this enthusiasm that we want to help people. I literally want to help people. So because like many people are in this such a wrong trap that they are unable. For example, many people are experiencing so many bad things like in their health level, and they are unable to improve that. But after doing this diet for even 1 month, they're experiencing so many benefits. So we literally change their lives. For example, a person I said has sugar level of 457. If it continued for a long time, his organs may be damaged, his health would be so bad that he may not be alive. after sometimes, and his
Oh,
family may not experience his presence. But after doing this diet, he came back to normal ranges, and now he literally increased his health and lifespan. And now his family can experience his presence. His future
oh,
generations can experience his presence. So that's what I want. I want to make at least one person in the household to be happy and healthy, and from that it will spread. So if we educate a person in a household, he will educate his family. If he educate his family, it will educate the society. So that's the aim.
oh my gosh. That is just amazing. I am so inspired by you. Wow. I really am like, you've got me thinking I need to be really doing a lot more because you're right. It's just that one person and that person shares and then it just this multiplier effect. So and that's one thing I love about you're so willing to just put it out there because there are a lot of carnivores who are shy about it. They don't even want to say, especially women. You know, I'm on Bella Steak and Butter Gal's platform, and a lot of the women are like, they don't even want to tell their coworkers or their friends. They don't want to call it carnivore. They don't want to say they're eating, 100% meat based because they don't want people to think it's weird, But then at the same
Like,
time, the
uh,
health
uh,
is radiating.
Janice, sorry for interrupting, but we can also do it for selfish reasons. Why? Because happiness is what's the outcome of it. For example, when what we do benefits us and benefits others, then that's the highest level of happiness we can get. So by doing that, by people coming and helping others, even if it changes 1%, we will get a lot of satisfaction that never comes from money. So what I'm saying is
Right.
that I am a offshoot from MeatRx. Like if we consider Shawn Baker and Canberry, everyone as a tree, I'm a fruit, and from me now more trees and more plants are coming.
Oh,
So we are everyone are fruits. All we have to do is we have to spread our seeds.
that is so beautiful. BNS, I honestly can't believe you're only 25 years old. I mean, you're so wise, I mean, literally, the number of lives you're going to be able to change, it's just astounding. And I can't, like you said, I can't wait for us to be able to like somehow gather.
We will.
Can you mention, you said you're going to be doing a MeatRx with Dr. Baker. That's on, what is it,
14.
May
May
14th?
14.
For
Yes.
us, is it May 14th or for
Yes. For you guys, it's 14.
Okay. Or I can't ever remember because you're a day ahead, right? So, all right, BNS. Well, this has been an incredible, amazing conversation. I literally could talk to you all night, so I think we
Me
should
too.
probably what's daytime for you? We could talk all Sunday for you, but thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing all of that. We'll definitely include everything that you and if you also want to share some of the resources, the doctors and everything you mentioned. But I think if they go to BNS Goku Great, they basically
Yes.
can find all of it, right? So
Yes.
so we'll include your Instagram, BNS Goku Great, and then Telugu Superhumans, and we'll watch all of the happy Indian people smiling about their results. Right? We won't understand them, but we can see what their general joy and well-being. So
Yeah. And thank you, Janice. It was a pleasure talking with you. I feel privileged talking with you, and I can say that you're awesome. And we can literally see everyone can see Janice's enthusiasm. So go and subscribe, Confident Carnivore. So I say that.
thank you, VNS. You have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Janice. You're awesome.
Thanks, VNS. So are you. You're great.